The Quest 3S, you want to know whether it's worth the price, whether it's good, and whether you should buy it, right? At just $299, the Quest 3S is actually an incredible value. And today I'm going to go over why. I've actually foregone doing an unboxing because everyone's going to do that and you pretty much know what's in the box already. Instead, I'm focusing on the hardware, whether it is good, how it works, and how it compares to the other devices in the Quest line. I've had this thing for a couple of weeks and I've played some of the biggest games both already on Quest and upcoming, and I have a lot of thoughts on this little device. First, let's quickly touch on the physical body. This is the soft strap that the Quest 3S comes with. It's the same as the Quest 3. Now the question is the fact that this is not as slim as the Quest 3 bad when it comes to comfort for this strap? And the reality is, it's actually not bad. You can slip it right on your head, and then you adjust it with these little bands in the back to tighten and loosen it. You can also adjust the top strap right here, and it actually doesn't feel terrible. It is slimmer than the Quest 2, which is why I think it doesn't feel that bad. It's heavier than the Quest 2. It's actually just like a gram under the Quest 3, so it is a little bit heavier, but it doesn't feel that way. It actually feels pretty nice on your head, even with the standard strap. Personally, I would upgrade to something like the Bobo VR because I think that it would feel better, or even the Elite strap, which I've been using on it, the Elite battery strap that Meta sent me as well. By the way, Meta did send me this device. This isn't sponsored though. This is just my thoughts, and they've sent me the device to give what I think to all of you. So from a comfort standpoint, the standard strap's actually not bad, but I would recommend getting a different strap. And I'll put some links in the description to some things that I recommend for straps and accessories that you can check out after the video. I mean, it's a funky looking device, right? It's got the 3 little dots on either side that are the sensors that you're going to use. Now, the other things on the outside are, this is, like I said, it's thicker than the Quest 3, but it's slimmer than the Quest 2. Now, the slim part of it is probably the fact that the facial interface is thicker. And you can see on the side here, that's a thick facial interface. So the reality is what they've done is remove plastic and then just built the facial interface to be thicker. I'm not sure how much that actually affects, but it is lighter. The facial interface is thinner, so I'm thinking that's why it feels lighter. The facial interface that it comes with is actually not bad. It's like a checkered weave pattern, so it doesn't feel too bad on your face. Again, if you want something really comfortable, you can always upgrade the facial interface as well. It's got the charging port just like the Quest 3, but it is missing that headphone jack, so you cannot use headphones with a regular headphone jack. You have to use USB-C headphones or some sort of adapter on this to do that. A couple other things, you've got the rocker on the bottom for the volume and the pass-through button, which I actually really like. It's a great way to jump into pass-through really quickly. Obviously on the Quest 3, I just used the tap on the side by double tapping on the side of the headset, and that works too, but having a physical button is actually pretty nice. Power button on the side here as well. One thing that was missing that I didn't realize was missing, maybe other people covered it in their coverage, I didn't really watch a lot, is that if you look inside here, I don't know if you can see it, is that if you look inside, and I'll try to get a shot of this so that you can actually see it. Number one, there's no dial showing the number like the Quest 2 has of the IPD. This has the, you can hear it, clickable 3-step IPD. It's got wide, medium, and then narrow. So it clicks into place just like the Quest 2 did. So if you have an IPD that didn't fit with the Quest 2, you might have a problem with this. But it also does not have a sensor up in here for when you put the headset on. So if I put the headset on like this, let me see, watch, ready? I can put it on, pitch black. It's got power, but if I hit the power button on the side, it'll light up, and there it is. It's on. And you have to hit the power button to turn it off too, because it's not going to sense that it's not on your head. So it will go off with inactivity after a little while, and I think you can actually set how long that is, but it doesn't have a sensor to tell when you put the headset on or taking it off, which is kind of a blessing and a curse in some ways, because I turn it off sometimes if I don't want it to turn off, depending on what I'm doing. But the fact that there's no sensor there is just another one of those things that was removed to make the headset cheaper. Not a massive deal, but it is something to keep in mind. There's just no sensor there to sense your head when you put it on or take it off. So if you don't want to kill your battery faster, you got to hit the power button when you take it off to get it completely turned off or in sleep mode. Now, when it comes to the lenses inside, these are the Fresnel lenses. They're not pancake lenses like the Quest 3. These are Fresnel lenses, but they're not the same Fresnel lenses as the Quest 2, at least to my eye. These are some of the best Fresnel lenses that I've used. It actually looks really good. Now, the panel inside also is a single panel LCD that isn't as high a resolution as the Quest 3, but it actually looks nice. And these Fresnel lenses actually do look really good. The sweet spot's smaller than pancake lenses, obviously, which is one of the things I love about the Quest 3, but it does have a decent sweet spot, and it looks really nice when you've got it in the right spot, and it isn't that hard to really get into the sweet spot for visuals. But looking through the pass-through here is another thing I can tell you right now. The pass-through is so much better than the Quest 2. It's essentially the same as the Quest 3, just with a lower resolution display. And the hand tracking works really, really well. And even the depth sensing actually seems to work well. It's got software depth sensing, so when you look around, it does the same thing as the Quest 3. It actually scans your environment and allows you to set up a Guardian the same way, where you're going to look at the walls, the floor, the ceiling, that's not the ceiling, and set the whole thing up. Surprisingly, I think hand tracking may be better on this. I'm not sure why. I just feel like it might be a little bit better on this device. I don't know if it's because the IR illuminators or how it does the depth sensing, but it actually does work really well. Overall, I'm actually pretty impressed with, even though it's a downgrade from like the sensors, they've split them all up and they've done something different for the depth sensing. It actually does work extremely well. Now, as far as inside of this device goes, it is essentially a Quest 3 on the inside from a power standpoint. It's got the same amount of RAM, it's got the same processor, so this beauty runs everything that the Quest 3 runs. It actually might run it a little bit better, and the reason is because it's not trying to hit that resolution that the Quest 3 has. It is slightly lower. Everything played great on this, including Quest 3 exclusive I've played that are coming soon, and I'm very impressed with how this device plays. The Fresnel lenses, obviously, while different than the pancake lenses, don't really hold it back. And I'll be honest, this is a massive, massive deal. You're getting a Quest 3 for $299 with a couple of concessions, including like no headphone jack and no sensor for the, when you put it on. But the big ones are really just the Fresnel lenses. That's the biggest one, and the resolution of the display. And those two things you really can look past if you've either never played VR before or if you've used a Quest 2. This is going to feel like an upgrade. The battery is not bad. In my testing, it actually doesn't last as long as the Quest 3, even though the Quest 3 has a bigger battery and it has more power draw. It lasts a couple of hours on average without the battery strap. I would recommend getting, if you want to play longer sessions, like some sort of battery strap. Like I said, there's a link in the description if you want to grab one. The one that I use, the Bobo M3 or the S3, one of the two of those. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what else to say about this, because in my testing, it functioned really well. It played just like a Quest 3, just with different lenses and a different resolution display. And I would highly recommend, if you want to get this and you can't afford the Quest 3, to grab a Quest 3S. I'm impressed. Meta did a really good job putting this headset together as a mid-grade upgrade to a Quest 2 or a good first starter headset. Would I recommend this over getting a Quest 3? Obviously not. This is not an upgrade if you're comparing it to the Quest 3. If you have the money and you value a better resolution and a cleaner, crisper image, then hands down get the Quest 3. And there's links to these both down in the description, by the way, the Quest 3S and the Quest 3 if you want to grab one. So I would recommend a Quest 3 to anyone that can afford it and that cares about like premium, top grade clarity and visuals on a high resolution display and the thinness and the lenses. Just the Quest 3 is an upgrade over this. So don't worry. If you've got a Quest 3, you're not in trouble. You didn't pay too much for it. The value that you get from the Quest 3 to the Quest 3S is definitely there. But if you want to play Batman, if you want to play Metro, I don't know if that's coming to Quest 2, if you want to play whatever games are coming to Quest 3 only, and Quest 3S, this is 100% an upgrade I would recommend to either Quest 2 or as an entry-level first Quest device in the Quest family, because the value is there. And by the way, let me mention the controllers really quickly. The controllers, they don't come with these straps. I've added these. Meta sent them to me as well. These are the straps you can get. They're okay. They're not super comfortable. I'd prefer the other aftermarket straps, to be honest. But the controllers are exactly the same as the Quest 3 as well. And I love those controllers. So, I don't know. Overall, I highly recommend the Quest 3S if you want to jump into VR for the first time, or if you want to upgrade a Quest 2 but can't afford the Quest 3. It's a great piece of hardware that functions exactly like a Quest 3 at the price of a Quest 2 when it first launched, which to me is kind of mind-blowing. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Sorry for such a quick, simple video. I didn't really want to belabor everything. It's as simple as should you upgrade or not, or should you buy it or not, right? And I was trying to boil it down to that and just give you all the info quickly, just so you have what you need and no fluff. So hopefully that is okay. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. There's links down in the description to both the Quest 3S and the Quest 3 at its new price for a larger size. So if you want either of those, you can grab those. Thank you so much for watching. I have a lot of coverage for some crazy Quest 3 and 3S stuff coming up, from games, from new updates and new hardware. You'll be surprised at some of this cool stuff. Trust me. So subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on all things Quest 3 and 3S. And as always, happy questing.